Grand day all. It is such a pleasure to be here. My name is Chase Steele Greye, and this is the Daily Huddle. Myself and my lovely friend Sorel Queton will be joining you today. And it's a beautiful day here in South Florida on my born day. Very excited to be alive. Very excited to be with all of you today. And, open it up a little bit, right? So before we get started, I'm going to hit you with a little joke. And the joke is this, or the sentence is this: why are birthdays good for your health? Sorel, what do you think?
You are allowed to eat as much cake as you like.
That's a good one. And we have a wonderful knife set we're going to send to your home. Thanks for playing. The answer is, the more birthdays you have, the more you seem to stay alive. Roll that tape. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Coming to you live from South Florida. Oh, it feels good to be out here. I think I'm going to be here every day now. This feels good. This energy feels good. The warm sun. Welcome, everyone, to the Daily Huddle. If this is your first time being with us, thank you so much for joining us. And we love it. We love it here, and we hope you love it, too. We always like to start out in this particular moment to speak to a couple of people in our universe, see how everybody's doing out there. And let's see, who do we have here? I have my phone sideways. I can't even see who we have here. I'm going to start with Tara. Tara Hitan, how are you today?
Good morning. I am the way I say I am. And today I am creative.
It's a good space to be in. It's a good space to be in, of course. Farid, my good friend, what time is it and what are you grateful for?
The time is now, and I am grateful for another day, to see another day.
I know it's right.
Another day.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Rashida. Rashida, who will you hug today?
Oh my goodness. I will hug you from afar, my dear brother. And happy Earth Day for you. Happy Earth Day. Blessing to be my brother from another mother.
I appreciate you so much. You know the love I have for you. Don't make me emotional on my day. Just all right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate you all being here. And this day, the topic for today, you know what, Sorel, why don't you open it up for us? You with me today? I want to bounce off of you a little bit today.
I am with you today, my friend. There's this thing about being human and living in a body. I can't run away from wanting to protect it so I can live
right
and feel better what I live. And what I have been discovering, as many of you could be discovering, is that the things I used to be able to do when I was a teenager aren't the things that I'm able to do in my body and with my body now. And I will be turning 62 in October.
Interesting.
So today's topic is really the opportunity for you and I and Chase to be in a conversation and explore what is it to be well for you, and how has that changed over the years? So how has wellness changed for you over the years? Don't quite know where the conversation's going, but I'm asking you to engage in the conversation with me and Chase to create for you today your own word on your life as to what it is to be healthy, what it is to be well, and how has that changed, and how have you adapted that over time? So Chase, let's begin with you. How has wellness changed for you over time?
You know, it's really interesting when I think about it. And this thing in my hand, by the way, if it's distracting you, it's my carnelian flame. It's one of my favorite stones that I carry around, and it promotes all sorts of great things in me and for me and around me. So I have it with me almost everywhere I go, just as a side note. You know, for me, wellness, I was thinking yesterday about how when I was younger, I was eating beef and pork and all kinds of fried stuff and shoveling candy in my mouth and so on and so forth, you know, as like, let's call it 12 to 17, somewhere in there, right? I was not vegan or vegetarian back then at all. But for me, and I feel very fortunate to say this, my wellness has gotten better as opposed to worse, because a lot of times people, as they get older, they go, we're all going to die anyway from something. I feel like the largest amount of people are like, I just eat what I want to eat. I'm not worried with all this stuff. It's crazy. I don't want to, whatever. And for me, I've become more concerned with it. More water, more greens, more fruits, more education as it relates to how my body is going to move better. How am I going to be, sleeker? How am I going to be? And it's, I'm so proud that I see it that way. You know, everybody has to deal with their own thing. I don't want to, say anything bad about anyone else or shun that. I just really cannot get enough education on what it is to be well or to have wellness or more health in my life. I read stuff every day. What is this? I want to get this. Oh, I want to get this. What about these body movements? What about whatever? So I want to stay young as much as possible, but not only physically, but mentally. And we know how those are connected. Like how I see myself, I believe, is a large portion as to how I'm here in this moment. Like, when people say, I don't know if you ever heard of this exercise, but I might have mentioned it before. Oprah did an episode once where she put all these women on the stage, and then she said, okay, one by one, you 8 people, go up to the stage and stand next to the body that you resonate with. Find yourself and stand next to it. And most of the people stood next to people that were not even their body type at all. How they saw each other. It was like a complete well, you're not that big. You know that, right? Or you're not that small, or whatever the case may be. And I just really want it to be better all the time. And I'm excited about striving for wellness. That's really my answer. I'm just always like looking for that next thing, but keeping it natural. Not like crazy stuff. Like, what can I get from the accessible things and put them into my body? I will never eat all the fruits in the world. I'm always exploring. It's like incredible, and that's how I stay excited, like reaching for stuff, being curious, eating this, eating that, all the colors, greens, colors, greens, colors, greens, colors. That's what I think in my head.
Yeah, for me, it was completely different. I never really thought about wellness or being healthy when I was growing up. It was just, food for fuel. I'm hungry. I eat whatever's in front of me.
Right.
And without a care in the world, because it never really mattered, because my body back then seemed to do what it needed to do to keep me healthy despite my own bad habits.
Right.
And then as I aged, I learned that the aches and pains that I have and the disease that I may be feeling in my body is not as a result of aging at all. It's more a result of the habits I have and
right.
How I eat, how I drink, how I move, how I sleep, all of that. So as I grew older, I started paying more attention like you. And the question that's always there for me, Chase, and I'm wondering if it's there for other people, is this. There are times in my life when I haven't been able to move. And the question that's there for me inside, how has wellness changed for you over the years, is can one be well when perhaps disabled or incapacitated in some way? So there's this notion of health and well-being being connected to my body being well. And then there's this overarching and looming question for me is wellness all physical? Can I be well when my body's disabled? What are your thoughts on that?
Can you be well when your body's disabled? Well, emphatically, yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I have a really good example of it. And maybe one day I'll bring this lady on. I have a friend who's paraplegic and she's a painter. She's a painter. She pulls herself up on these things and she takes the paint, goes like this, back and forth. And she's in the chair 90% of the day. And when I saw that kind of dedication, that gives her the joy as a painter because she can do the stuff she wants to do, so on and so forth. I think that everything anchors on mindset and what you think you can do. How many people have been brought to a hospital after getting in a car crash or any kind of horrific event, and they said, there's no way this is going to stop me. There's no way. I'm moving forward, and that is it, right? So I think it starts with mindset. You have to want to live your life. You have to want that. If you don't want that, then no, it's not going to happen for you. And you're going to go, well, what can I do? I have a broken leg and I'm done, and I say that, and it may shock some people because that's my perspective. I'm not saying everyone's going to go for that, but as you know, and I've said it before, it has love it. It has to do with where you came from, right? When I was younger, my father and my mother were doing stuff. They were moving. They're both in their 70s now. They're both still agile. My dad is just having a little problem right now with his hip. But at the same time, you can do it because the resources are multiple now for those who have disabilities or have been in horrific situations or whatever. And if there's a will to do it, you can do it. I completely believe it, whether it's a book going into your mind or some sort of physicality, be it Pilates or any of the different concentrations of yoga, but even just the simple moving of your body, like you're in a row, like you're in a machine with a bicycle, like what, just those small things. And we've talked about this before, these little motions of like moving the body. I'm reminding the body that I see you. I know you're here still, and I appreciate you. It's humongous, even up a mile a day, which is 2 miles, because you walk 1 mile, you got to come back, right? So it's like the simplicity, like marinating in the simplicity of health and wellness. Do the thing that gives you that little joy, that little push, and then it multiplies because you keep doing it and your body goes, oh, you do see me. Okay, great.
Yeah. As you're speaking, I'm recalling what you said about the ladies on the Oprah show.
Yeah.
All of them, each of them gravitated to a body type that wasn't theirs. And I'm filled with compassion right now for some reason. And what I mean to say with this is that I'm resonating with how they went to the body type that wasn't theirs, and that for my entire life, I've been short.
Well, you're tall to me, Sorrel. You're tall to me.
For my entire life, I have been short. And it's been my plight that wherever I go, often, back in school in Haiti, in school here, at work here, wherever I am, I'm the shortest. And I developed this sense that, being short is not so good. So back in the 70s, I was a very happy teenager when platform shoes came along.
Oh, shoot.
Now, platform shoes weren't just it. It was platform shoes and bell-bottom pants, because I had to hide the platform shoes. And I walked around thinking that, most people didn't know I had platform shoes on. I just walked funny. But I digress. I digress. The point I'm making is this. Could it be that in this whole realm of wellness, health, and well-being, that myself and others are obsessing over that? You know, I'm thinking back and, you know, this whole craze about exercising and eating right is something that I believe emerged and came into being as a result of the kinds of lives and environment that we created for ourselves to live in. So when it comes to the question, right, how has wellness evolved for me over the years? It's evolving now in the space where could I just live and do what comes naturally without filling myself up with the stuff that we made for the body, and be well, whether I'm exercising, whether I'm not. So the compassion I have is there are the ways our society says that I must be, the things I must do, things I must eat to stay healthy and be well. What if somebody can't do that? How do they stay well? And what is wellness for them?
When you say they can't do that, what are you saying specifically? They don't have the resources, or
you don't have the resources, or you're bedridden, or you've been in an accident. So a lot of what we're talking about, we're saying, it's my mindset. It's my mindset. Right. So as a human being, I'm thinking, well, gosh, you know, I'm not well and it's my fault. Mm-hmm. I'm not well, I'm to blame.
Right. You know what? I have a friend that lives in Minneapolis. He's late 70s. And I asked him the other day, oh, you went to the supermarket? He goes, yeah, kid, the dollar's not buying what it used to buy anymore. And I said, really? I said, what'd you get at the supermarket? He said, I spent $120. I got 4 packs of hot dogs. I got some pizza boxes. I got some cakes that I love. Got a couple loaves of bread, some peanut butter, some jelly. Everything that he said, in my opinion, was things that made him heavy. But that's his way. And it's all habit forming. In other words, he drinks, he smokes, he plays the drums, he eats whatever he wants to eat. And whenever I say something to him about wellness, he goes, what am I going to do? Change now? I like what I like. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And that's what he says it to me right now. In answer to your question, if you don't have it because of reasons that be financial or geographically you can't get to the other places, then who's making the choice of getting what you are getting? That's right. Like, you're making that choice, right? So if I wanted to be really healthy and I didn't know what to do, and I felt, what's the word I'm looking for? I just felt helpless because I want to be better, but I can't get to the good food. I would do some research. I would have somebody come to me and say, can you bring me some food? And because I want to be well, can you show me how to be well? Again, it starts with, what do you want? How bad do you want that? Some people are just okay being where they are, and that's fine. You can be right where you are and live your days out the way you are. I'm not talking down to anyone. I'm just saying has never been a time in the history of everything where there's more resources and more ways to do it if you want to. That's the thing. Be it financial, geographical, whatever. If you want to, you can figure it out. There's people online that were 380 that are now 130. And go, God, how did you do that? I did it over time. I did it slowly. I had some people help me. I was dying. I didn't feel good. I wanted to curl up and not see anybody. And then I made a choice. And everything changed. So
well,
I think
on your birthday, this is a fitting conversation to engage folks in. And I think it'll be cool to hear what other people are thinking.
Let's do that.
Question. How has wellness changed for you over the year? We'll begin with Rashida.
Rashida.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. My dear brothers, Chase and Sorrel open a can of worm. Oh,
A can of worm.
goodness.
You open a can
Why?
of worm.
Why, my dear brother Chase, in your and the very good day of your life, the day that you choose to born, you open this can of worm. Trust me, I love this. I don't get me wrong. I love the topic, and why I love the topic is the way. Remember the way we met Chase 9 years ago.
That's
was a blessing for me and for you because we have met in the food co-op in Brooklyn.
Right.
And trust me, it's been a journey together. And we have seen friends that choose and have bad habits and go into the non-health conscious life.
That's right.
And they are, it is a choice. Every one of us have a choice on this planet.
Yes, right.
To choose the way or the road we want to take for our health. Trust me. I'm telling you, this topic is something that is going to have a second and a third layer.
Let's do it. Let's have a part 2.
Okay? With that, I'm out, but I'm still here with you all guys.
A can of worm. Open up a can of worm. I love that.
Come on, Tara.
Rashida, I think wellness for me is the sound of your voice.
Right? Right? Oh.
It is like this beautiful energy. It's just like glory.
So good.
But I will share something with you all about the most well person that I've ever known. And that is my little brother. He's 53. And I'll tell you what I've learned from him. I don't live his lifestyle. He lives on mostly wheatgrass and clay.
Wow.
And he is a guitar god. Or I would have him on the show, but he sleeps late. He gets up and he goes in his garden and he drinks lots of well water mixed with clay, and he eats clay and he eats an enormous amount of wheatgrass. He goes about his day with exercise. He goes to his gig, and at his gig, he plays his guts out, right? He has a few beers. At the end of the gig, he eats what I call junk food vegan meal, right? So it's fried potatoes and whatever the restaurant, like a lot of the places where he plays, they have like the Caldwell meal, and it's a vegan meal. The point in my sharing this is, here's what I've learned from him. I cannot remember a time when he's been sick. Not the sniffles, not the fever, nothing. And he eats that junk food and he drinks those beers. But what I've learned is it's not so much about what we have to take away, it's what we have to put back for our health.
Yes.
So I feel like those are small steps. Like if you love a fried chicken sandwich, have half of it and put a giant salad with it, for example. And health for me is adding more of the good and just having less of the things that I do well. And I learned that by watching my insane brother.
Say his name out loud again, Tara.
His name is Jeff Caldwell.
Jeff Caldwell.
He's
That's
not on any
awesome.
social media because he's Jeff Caldwell, but
That's
I'll
awesome.
get him up early and he'll jump on here with me.
That's amazing. Wow. I like it. I like it a lot. You know, I like people like that because not everybody can do that extreme thing or those extreme things. But I like that we get to hear the example of the people who are doing that, and that moves you to just give it a try every now and then to figure out if the body moves in a different way because you did that for a week or you did that for 4 days or whatever. So thank you for that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Cece.
Good morning, everyone. Excellent shares. I love the topic. I actually dropped 80 pounds. Woo! And thank you. And I've managed to keep it off. And I've tried different avenues. I've tried the what do you call it? Vegetarian, no meat, vegan, all this other stuff. And what I've noticed is that each body is different. My body wasn't reacting the way that I liked it to react when I went vegetarian. Actually, I gained 20 pounds because I was hungry. Wow. And I was eating up all the vegan junk food out there. So when I went back to a little bit of flesh, that means meat and vegetables and, you know, what my body needed at that time, I started losing weight again, and it didn't make any sense. So I just think each individual body has a perfect combination that that person would know. You know, like I have friends that can eat whatever they want. They can eat cake, you know, drink, and they don't gain no weight. I start doing all that on a regular, it just sits right on my hip. So I said, I'm gonna just do what works for me. And when I need to change according to the way my body is changing, since I am getting a little older. So thank you so much for the topic, and I pass.
Cece, thank you. You know, one of the things that that has always been my personal intention, and also Giovanni's intention, is that this day that we call Health and Wellness Day, you know, in addition to giving you tips and strategies for being well and staying healthy and gaining muscle, whatever you want, but that this day would free you up as a human being to just be in the body you're in and love it just the way it is right now. So, and your sharing, CC, is pointing to that, and I'm so grateful that that kind of freedom is what got created this morning. So who else wants to share?
Awesome. So I think that if I may add a bit, I think that our perception of wellness varies. And at the beginning, we spoke about when we were young to now, when we are older. When we were younger, we looked at wellness in a different light. Compared to now, when we are older, we are adults, we look at wellness from a different perspective. And that now brings me to the other thing, is that how do we define wellness? My definition may be different from Sorrel's, may be different from Tara's. So we have to look at wellness from that point of view as well. But having said that, and as Chase said, we have to look at both the physical aspect and the mental aspect. Because mentally, if we are not well, then this is not going to be well. And I like the point that Chase brought up, and you brought up concerning people who are differently able. Some people may think that because they are differently able, or they may be in a car crash, and they may have some physical disability, that, look, my life is over, I cannot move forward. But that is not right. We have to continue living, and we cannot look at those things as a disadvantage. We have to use those things as an advantage to move on and to look after ourselves.
It's good. It's good stuff. Sorrel, thank you, Fareed. Sorrel, if I may.
Chase.
If I may.
Flies on the Daily Huddle, brother. It's 29 after. Take us home.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a quick question. You can swing it back to me. What's your top wellness go-to in your life? One thing you can always go to and you feel better after you do it.
Music.
Boom. He goes right to it.
Man, and I binge. I have to share. Lizette knows this, right? Because I shared with them on another call. I discovered this album by an artist that I love from Haiti. His name is Jean-Jean Roosevelt.
Oh, got to hear it today.
And Jean-Jean takes you from traditional Haitian compas down to roots music, a little reggae, and then he sends a potent message to the Dominican Republic in a merengue number that's just mesmerizing. So I discovered the album on Friday, and I've listened to it, the entire album, probably 16 times by now.
I got to hear it right when I hang up. Right when I hang up. Jean-Jean Roosevelt?
That's got to be a nice album.
Yeah.
What's the name of the CD? What's up, Stan?
It's called Aiti, Ayti.
Ayti. T-I.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I can answer the same way you did with music, but my thing is, and Rashida knows this, I always say it, water, water, greens, greens, colors, colors. I say that to myself every day. If I can get those in my body, I feel freer, I feel more open, I can run, I can jump, I can bike, I can blade. I do all that stuff just to stay in the perfect form for my body or my mind. So that's my answer to that. But as we wrap up, it's been great being with you, Sorel, as always. My good man, 50 grand. And as we take ourselves out of this wonderful atmosphere, remember to live out loud. Remember to love intentionally and as much as you possibly can. Remember to move the body. Remember to sleep a little bit more than you have before. And I say that to myself all the time because my brain is too freaking active. Remember to, I had a scratch in my brain for a second. Oh, remember to give of yourself fully and all the time. And remember, as always, check yourself before you wreck yourself. It will do you no harm. Thank you all so much for being here and being this little born day kickoff for me. I'm going to go and have some fun and see my parents and have a great time in the South Florida weather. And I appreciate all of you so much. I can't wait to come back.
Happy birthday, Chase.
Thank you so much.
Happy birthday, my
Happy
dear brother.
Happy
Birthday, Chase. Happy birthday.
Chase. Thank you. Bye, Chase.